Previously on the Chronicles of One Life. Our journey began with simple steps, exploring the land, gathering our first crops, and carving out a foothold in this fragile, hardcore lifestyle. We built an iron farm to provide us with trade, discovered a village ripe for trading, and prepared what basic tools we could, knowing the true adventure was still ahead. Welcome to episode 2 of the Chronicles of One Life. The Rise of the Villagers. We begin today's adventures with our villagers. In our last episode, we built our villager breeder, and now it's time to switch it on. The first baby villagers of our new civilization are about to arrive. These little guys will grow, learn, and one day trade the items we'll need for the long road ahead. It's a small beginning, but an important one nonetheless, the foundations of something much larger. Trading halls, districts, and thriving community are all still to come. But today we focus on the basics. Farmers, weaponsmiths, armourers, toolsmiths, cartographers, clerics, and of course, librarians. Each one brings a trade. Each one unlocks a new step in our journey. Diamond tools, diamond armour, food, enchantments and resources. All available without ever leaving our home. But earning these comforts means work, leveling villagers, unlocking tiers, and helping them master their own professions. And whilst we built the villager breeder, our iron farm began to grow, giving us enough resources to trade for diamond armour. And this really would help us before we moved on to our first district. Iron trading can take us far, but not far enough, and nor quickly enough so far. To truly grow, we need more resources, and that means expanding our crops. Our spawn circle will one day hold 4 great districts: crops, animals, storage, and villagers. A full living settlement shaped over time. But today we begin with our first corner of that vision, the crop district. Wheat, potatoes, carrots, beetroot, everything we need to support our trades and level up our villagers. It took time, and as we saw from episode number 1, we did make a good start. However, there's a little bit of digging required here to place the land how we wanted it, put up some walls, and shape it to how we envision the future. We protect our fields, we carved our paths to guide eye and blend each piece back into the natural world. Slowly, our small, lonely spawn point began to feel like home. However, before this world could move forward, before greater builds and deeper ambitions, there was one thing I could not ignore. In a hardcore world, one mistake ends everything, and our one life could come to an end at any point. So without a totem of undying, every step forward is a gamble, with my only life. So the journey began, not with steel or fire, but with a single map. A cartographer villager marked the danger for me, a Woodland Mansion map. Far beyond familiar land, far beyond our safety. I saddled my horse, trek. A loyal companion had already carried me through storms and skirmishes alike. Together we crossed vast plains and climbed treacherous cliffs, weaving around ravines that threatened to swallow us whole. Every jump carried weight. Every fall could well end this story right here. But as the land shifted beneath us, the world revealed something unexpected. A shipwreck, resting beside a newly discovered acacia village, so signs of those who came before, and reminders of how fragile survival truly is. From there, the land gave way to water. The journey stretched across open sea. I took to a boat. Trek followed close behind, bound by a lead. Cutting through the waves as though we understood the importance of what lay ahead. The ocean was quiet, but silence in this world is never comfort. And then the forest changed. The oceans darkened. The Woodland Mansion rose from the trees like a scar on the hill. I didn't rush in, however. That would be death. Instead, I pillared upward, slowly claiming the high ground, watching every shadow, watching every window. Inside waited monsters that do not forgive mistakes. Creepers, silent and patient. Spiders clinging to the ceilings. Zombies roaming the halls. Vindicators, fast and unholy brutal. And worst of all, evokers. With their powers to summon Vex, this was something we had to be careful of. So I did not face them head on. Not for now at least. From outside the mansion walls, bow drawn, breathing steady, I picked them off through the shattered windows. One shot at a time. No panic, no greed. Survival demands restraint. When the final evoker fell, I stepped inside and claimed what I had came for. A totem of undying. This was not just loot, it was insurance. A second chance in a world that gives none. And with that, the journey back began stronger, wiser, and still alive. Because in the Chronicles of One Life, every adventure must be survived before it can be remembered. Now though, with our totem secured, the world felt different. Not safer, but certainly a lot fairer. For the first time, survival hasn't hanged by a single thread. But confidence in a hardcore world is a dangerous thing. But once we'd returned to spawn, there was no time to rest. The road ahead did not lead across land, nor across the sea. It led to somewhere far worse. The Nether. A dimension where the ground itself can betray you, where fire is not an obstacle, but the air you breathe. One wrong step means lava, and lava does not care how prepared you are. There is no daylight to guide you here, no escape route once panic sets in, and only narrow bridges over endless void, and enemies that strike faster than hesitation allows. This place exists to test you, and I needed something from it. A Nether Fortress. Hidden somewhere within this chaos, guarded by creatures born of flame. Without blaze rods, there is no progress. No eyes of Ender, no path towards the dragon. The journey forward ends here, or not at all. The air burned, the landscape screamed hostility. Gas cried from the distance, their echoes a reminder that nowhere here is at all safe. Piglins watched every movement, while skeletons lurked in the dark, and beneath it all, the constant threat of falling into fire and into nothing. Every block placed here mattered. Every step had to be earned. But this time I wasn't empty-handed. The Totem of Undying rested in my inventory. Not a guarantee, but a promise, a second chance if I deserved it. This was the next great trial. Not of strength, but of my own nerve. Somewhere out there, a fortress awaited, and with it the blaze rods that would decide whether this world moves forward or ends here. The question is simple though. Would I leave the Nether victorious? Or would this dimension claim my one life? Next time on the Chronicles of One Life. The Nether will demand its price. Deep within the fortress, blaze rod stand between me and the end. If I can survive long enough to claim them, that is. From there, the path leads deeper still, tracking down the stronghold which will provide us travel to the end dimension, where we must now prepare for the fight that defines every hardcore world, the Ender Dragon. And if I succeed, well, I guess we'll have to wait and find out.